toi, tu sais, ton espace des verts, t'es sur le. Sur les verts. À quelle heure ça terminé? C'est pas la peine. C'est déjà fini en fait. Je n'avais pas rendu compte, mais c'est déjà fini en fait.
La du Magne. Voyons en élancer. How are you?
You can't be leaving now.
I don't believe it.
Oh,
They want him.
I'm tired of my. You want to do it to Eddie?
All right.
We're just wondering.
Yeah, no problem. Tu ne savais pas qu'il a déposé? Tu sais qui a déposé ça?
That's a lady's bag.
Yeah.
Maybe hers.
Yeah. Can you keep it? Sorry for that.
I was closer to it.
Yeah.
And then I started mingling.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Welcome, Pedro. Oil. You're too full. It's stronger.
No, that was always the same. No, it's okay. I don't think no.
They said somebody can smash it in. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you, Christopher.
That's crazy.
Tout le monde voit les gens? I think there's a lot of thank you so much. Chez là, ils ont pas il y a le zoo au milieu, c'est ça? Il y a des bestioles.
Hey, guys.
Fermer après. Pour faciliter l'entrée. C'est sûr.
Ladies and gentlemen, co-chair of the World Economic Forum, Larry Fink, and the President of the United States, Donald J. Trump.
Well, I think everybody was waiting. It's great. It's great that everybody's still here. Welcome, everybody. And Mr. President, thank you again for joining us this week. I know your schedule's crazy, and it was very meaningful for the World Economic Forum and everyone else that you took the time to be here in your busy schedule. I want to just talk about these gatherings. They're sometimes known for papering over differences with a lot of air kisses, platitudes, jargon. But I don't think anyone could say about that this year. More than at any other World Economic Forum annual meeting I've attended, there's been less effort to pretend. And I think we can all agree there's more of a willingness for people to listen. Even when your values and your views clash. We're having conversations, even when conversations and your views clash. We're having conversations, even when conversations are uncomfortable. And hopefully through those conversations we have better, deeper, more sincere understandings. So it's about a dialogue, and dialogues doesn't necessarily lead to agreement. But it's the first step towards understanding, and sometimes, importantly, towards movement and resolution. It may be unfashionable to be an optimist about disagreements discussed this week, but the most enduring disagreements appear unresolvable right up until the last moment, and they're resolved. Mr. President, thank you for recognizing that the World Economic Forum is a place where we can have hard questions that can be debated, and where difficult problems can at least be confronted together. And we're grateful that you added your voice, and a needed voice, to the conversation today and again this evening. Mr. President, thank you again for being here. I think you can see by the audience, they're thrilled, and we look forward to hearing from you.
Well, thank you very much. And he's a hell of a guy, but we have an audience. I recognize so many. I know so many. We have the king of soccer, the king of sports over here, Johnny. When you have Johnny, and I heard you, I just got a report on the sales of tickets. It's there's never been anything like it, so that's good. You're going to break every record. So thank you for choosing us. We appreciate that. He's another spectacular person. And so many people in the audience, and you know, I have this beautiful speech, page after page, and I just said, I just made a speech, and they were all here. They heard it one way or the other. And I said, the last thing we want to do is waste our time and hear it again. But I do want to say the people in this room are amazing. Most of you were in the other room also. And the United States is doing really well, doing like nobody thought was actually possible, certainly not this soon. It's 1 year. It's exactly a year. If you think about it, time flies. It's 25%. It's a long time. But it went very, very fast. We've had tremendous luck. I think it's been reported by even people that aren't lovers of Donald Trump that it's been maybe the best first year for any president. I think in terms of what we've accomplished, it might very well be. But we've accomplished a lot, including ending 8 wars. I have 1 to go. I thought that was going to be one of the easiest ones, and it's turning out to be one of the tougher ones. But you heard me say before, 25,000, 30,000 people are dying a month. It's ridiculous. And I think we're getting close. Jared's here, and Steve Witkoff is here. And a lot of people that are working on that are here, and they've done a good job. I think it could have gone into a world where if we weren't here, it was out of control. But I think we're going to get it resolved. And I'm doing it to save 30,000 people a month, if you can imagine your kid. I mean, take your your son leaves home, waves to you, proud of him, so beautiful, and then 2 weeks later you hear he had his head blown off fighting Ukraine or fighting Russia. It's both of them. The total are averaging 30,000, actually 30,000 young people, generally soldiers, a little bit in towns, but for the most part it's soldiers, every single month they're dying. So I think we're going to do well there. But we have Scott Bessent, who everyone knows, and Howard Lutnick, and these guys are doing a fantastic job with what we're doing. They were both recommended by many of the people in this room. I said, what do you think of Scott? Oh, he's fantastic. What do you think of Howard? Very different types. I would say these are two exact opposites. And I like that. I like that. They are the exact opposite. You know, I never thought of it that way. I'm just saying that I'm looking at you two. You are in every way, but they're tremendously talented people and very successful people. And I like bringing successful people in because there's a reason for success. It's one of the reasons that we've had such success. You know, we took over a country with a border that was a disaster where millions of people were coming in. Millions of people were coming in every single week. I mean, literally a week would have millions of people, and and they weren't vetted. Totally open border. You'd have people come in. You could look at them. I don't want to say why define that, because they always discriminate. So I don't discriminate. But you could look at some people and say they're criminals. And we took in tremendous numbers of murderers, drug dealers, mental institution, insane asylum people, people that were in insane asylum institutions for the mentally ill and dangerous, very dangerous. They dumped them into our country like we were dirt, and we're doing a great job of getting them out. But it's you know, it takes a lot of time, a lot of effort, and it's a nasty business too. But if they were bad someplace else, they're going to be bad here. If they killed people in their country, whether it was Venezuela or the Congo or any of the countries where they came. In the Congo, they emptied out their jails into our country. In Venezuela, they did the same thing. And in many other countries, they did the same thing. So when you read all these stories about ICE, you'll understand they're doing a hell of a job, because we can't have those people in our country. And we're getting them out. But we're doing numbers in terms of people investing in the United States like we've never had before. And I guess it's because of November 5th, the election, but the election gave us a view, and it's a view on tariffs to protect our country, because our country is being plucked like you pluck a chicken. Our country was being plucked, and it wasn't good. And, you know, you can only take so much of it. And we've changed it around very quickly, and we've had, we'll have, Scott, I'd say $600 billion worth of tariff money coming in, and I think we're going to have maybe more than that. By next year, it'll be much more than that. That's not including the countries and companies, because we have countries coming over and building, but we have companies, great companies coming in. Apple is spending $650 billion. I mean, it's so many. One just announced $10 billion. Toyota, met Mr. Toyota in Japan. So what's your name? Toyota. I said, oh, do you own the car company? Yes, 92%. I said, you didn't have to be that specific. But I said, you're rich. Yes, I'm rich. But he just announced he's going to do $10 billion worth of plants. I mean, it's amazing what's going on. Look, it's amazing. We've never had anything like it or close. Nobody else has either. So I think in terms of your investments, you're in great shape. I don't even ask anybody how you're doing now. It's like everybody is making so much money. Oh, look who I see, Tim. Hi, Tim Cook. He's been good for 650. Think of it, $650 billion. Okay, can you imagine? That's what he's going to be investing. More than that. I think it's going to end up being more. He's great. You know, he's great. He's done some job. You have done really some job. And we have so many people in this room that have done a job. I don't know how many have done better than Tim, but some are right up there with you. You better get your ass moving, I'll tell you. But fantastic people. But I go around and I say, meet the biggest people, biggest business people. I say, congratulations. They say, on what? I said, you've doubled your net worth since I've been president, right? He said, yeah, even more than that. They would say even more. We're doing even better than that. And, we've given you a platform where you can really put your genius to work. We have a lot of brilliant genius people in this room, and you can put that genius to work. And it's an honor to do it. In a way, I'm jealous. In a way, I'm upset. A couple of people in the room, I can't stand them, and they've become very rich. There's nothing I can do about it. I would screw them if I could, but I can't do it, right, Dina? I can't do it. I would, if I had a chance, or I could just take them and say, you can't do what Apple's doing. But you're not allowed to do that, Newt Gingrich, right? We can't do it. But I would love to do it, really. It's one of those things. But everybody's making a lot of money, and everybody's investing money in the United States, and our jobs are through the roof. And I made a statement the other day, thank goodness for robots, because we're never going to have enough people to run all these places that are being built. And I think robots are actually going to be a very big business. I think it's going to be surprisingly big, but I think we're going to need it. We're going to need it. So we have a country that's becoming very safe. We had the best crime numbers that we've had ever in recorded history. Perhaps they were better 100 years ago, I'm not sure, but the recorded history is 67 years, and in 67 years they're the best numbers, and that's despite having a lot of people in the country that shouldn't be here, that we're getting out. But we've got tough law enforcement, smart law enforcement, and patriotic law enforcement. They've been amazing. One example is Washington, D.C. You couldn't walk down the street in Washington. You get mugged, you get killed. They were losing 100 people. Think of it, 100 people a year, and dead. You call up the parents. They come in from Iowa. They come in from Indiana to see the Washington Monument, and they end up being killed. It's not happening anymore. And I said in the other room, people are going to dinner. They're meeting their wives in the middle of the street, and they're walking across the street to have dinner. New restaurants are being built at records that nobody's ever seen. They were closing. We lost half of the restaurants in the last 4 years during the Biden administration. Now they're all opening again. I even went to have dinner just to show, I guess, to make a point. I went to a restaurant in Washington. I walked right down the middle of the street. I wouldn't say that Secret Service was thrilled, but if I did it a year before, believe me, it wouldn't work. Here's my other friend, Hussein. How are you? Okay? Are you good? Boy, you got a lot of good people here. This is a very good place. But so it's amazing what's happened there. Memphis is amazing. When you go to Louisiana, what we've done there has been incredible. Always much more helpful if we could have a little participation. In the case of Louisiana, we have Jeff Landry, the governor, Republican governor. We have a couple of Democrat governors. We have a couple of Democrat mayors who very quietly are begging us for help, and we're making them all look very good. But I would do it. If I were a Democrat, if I were a mayor or a governor, I'd be saying, Mr. Trump, could you quietly come over here, and would you do this, President, for me? Send about 1,000 troops in here, and we do it fast, and we get rid of the criminals, and it's amazing how effective. I didn't campaign on this. I campaigned on law and order, but I didn't know it would be this type of law and order. But the cities, some of these cities, we've lost these cities, and we're bringing it back, and we're bringing it back quickly. Washington took us literally 6 weeks to make it safe, and 8 weeks to make it really safe, and now it's really safe. And I don't know, some people disagree, but I like seeing those big, strong soldiers. We won in the Supreme Court a very important case, merit. Our country was built on merit, and then all of a sudden we got away from that. And people with A averages and high college boards and everything were not able to get into colleges, and people that had C averages and low college boards were getting in. And, it's not fair, but our country is based on merit. The whole concept and the whole system only works on merit. It doesn't work on anything else. And our military works now on merit. And when you see the soldiers in the street in Washington or in Memphis or in New Orleans or in some of these places, including Chicago, we have crime down in Chicago, despite the fact that we have an idiot governor and a mayor very low IQ person. He's a low IQ person. And it's amazing. You have these wonderful, beautiful black women with Make America Great Again, MAGA caps on. They're all over Chicago. They want MAGA to come in. And we went in a pretty quiet way, as opposed to the way we did it in Minnesota. You know, in Minnesota, we took out over 10,000 hardline criminals, people with big convictions that came in here that shouldn't be here, brought them back to countries. In some cases, we bring them to jails, because if you bring them back to the country, they'll find a way, despite the strong borders, they'll find a way in, because a lot of them are really evil, but they're not stupid. So we're doing a real job. The country's the hottest country anywhere in the world, the best place to invest. The great big beautiful bill is incredible. You get that 1 year deduction. You build something and you take the whole thing down. And I always said that's what made my first term so successful, because, I mean, people were buying things that, I have a friend bought an airplane. He never used it. He just bought it. He said, I deducted it. He's on the plane. I think he's got, Steve, you could buy it. He's got about 4 hours on the plane. It's been 3 years. I think he's got to be a great plane to buy, actually, because he'll never use it. But it really spurred people to do things and do projects that they really would have delayed or held. And the beautiful thing about the great big beautiful bill, the one that we just did, is over there you had a 2-year window to do it. Now we have a 10-year window, which I hate to tell you, because people will take their time. So in one way, I didn't want that. I call that not good, but it is good ultimately. Think of it, it gives me a chance to use it if and when I ever get out of this position. There's a big question. It gives me a chance to use it. Otherwise, I'd be precluded. That would be terrible, right? But it's 10 years. But you're able to, you build something, you build a factory, you write the whole thing off 1 year. Nobody's ever thought that was possible. It was always 38, sometimes 40, sometimes 41 years. You know, you get a little here, a little there, nothing. You write it all up. So it's been really amazing. And you are the people that made it happen, really. Largely it's you and a group of others. Not a lot more. I mean, the people here, I guess because of Larry, the people that came to this event, it's really incredible. I wasn't sure how it was going to turn out. We had somebody, as you know, that ran it for many, many years, and I'm not sure what happened there, but I figured, well, that's all right. They had a hell of a run in Davos. Then I heard Larry was taking it over, more or less, and he called me. He said, would you do me a favor? Would you be there? And we've had some great business dealings together. And he's great. He's one of you. He's one of the greats. And it was an honor. We had a good speech. We got great reviews. I can't believe it. We got good reviews in that speech. Usually they say he's a horrible dictator type person. I'm a dictator. But sometimes you need a dictator. But they didn't say that in this case. And no, it's common sense. It's all based on common sense, you know. It's not conservative or liberal or anything else. It's mostly, I'd say 95% common sense, and that's what we have. So I just want to thank everybody for being here. It's such an honor. And if we can ever help, you're going to let me know. And I have a pretty direct line. Marco Rubio's here, too. He's done a fantastic job as Secretary of State. He'll go down as maybe the best Secretary of State if he keeps going like he's going. That's a big question. I don't know that he will, but for the first year, he's headed to the top. And I just want to thank everybody very much for being here. Thank you very much. Take care of yourselves. Thank you.
So I spoke to Nico. Yeah, just close to the team. Yeah, okay. All right.
Thank you.
Ça va, ça a été? Change. Ouais.
What is 2:45?
We came out. No, I needed to get you.
I get it. I see you.
Was it fine? It was great. I didn't know it was great. Pulitzer Prize winner. Yes. Taking lots of pictures. Yes. Finally, it's on you with that prize. Exactly.
They must also be tired. They all flew with you.
Many of them flew with me. They're not good, they won't fly back. They're very good.
So,
Well, thank you very much. It's an honor to be with you, and I thank the media for being here. We've taken long trips, and this was a long one, but it's been working very well. We're having tremendous meetings with heads of state, with people of very big consequence having to do with war and peace, which is why we're here. And I just want to thank the Secretary General for being with us. We have a few things to discuss. It was a meeting I actually look very forward to. He's doing a fantastic job. We've been friends. We lifted GDP from 2% to 5% together. That was done jointly, and it worked out really very well, and we appreciate it, Mark. So we'll be talking about various things. We'll be talking about Greenland. I imagine it may come up in our discussion. And but I think the trip has been amazing so far. It's been amazing. As you know, we're staying, and tomorrow we're doing something else having to do with the Board of Peace. We're getting tremendous acceptance of that. It's going to be great. So we'll see how that all works out, but we're doing that tomorrow. So thank you very much, media. Thank you very much. And Mark, would you like to say
just briefly, what I just wanted to say again, as I did this morning when I was in a panel, I want to thank you again for what you did since coming in January, Trump 47. Basically getting the Europeans and Canada to really step up, and that led to the enormous success we had in The Hague with the 5%, which is crucial to defend ourselves and to also equalize with what the US is paying. This was a problem already there since Eisenhower. I always tell the Europeans, you are completely committed to NATO, but there is also that one irritant, and it is this factor, that the Europeans were not paying the same as the US was paying. And we solved it, and this is crucial also because we need the money to protect ourselves. There's one thing I heard you say yesterday and today. You were not absolutely sure that the Europeans would come to the rescue of the US if you will be attacked. Let me tell you, they will. And they did in Afghanistan, as you know, for every American who paid the ultimate, for every 2 Americans who paid the ultimate price, there was 1 soldier from another NATO country who did not come back to his family. From the Netherlands, from Denmark, particularly, from other countries. So you can be assured, absolutely, if ever the US will be under attack, your allies will be with you. Absolutely, there's an absolute guarantee. I really want to tell you this because it is important. It pains me if you think it is not. And under your leadership, this alliance is stronger than ever.
Well, thank you very much. It's a great compliment. Any questions?
Mr. President, the Danish foreign minister rejected your call to negotiate on Greenland. What will...
I didn't call him.
No, sorry. The Danish foreign minister rejected what you said in your speech, that you were hoping to negotiate to acquire Greenland, essentially saying that this is not something that they are willing to discuss. So what will those negotiations
Well, they
look
didn't
like?
tell me that, so when they tell me, because I don't like getting it secondhand, if he wants to tell me, he'll tell me that to my face.
And when will you be discussing this?
I have no idea.
When you said you
I'll be discussing it with this man right here.
Mr. President,
He's frankly more important.
Mr. President, when you said you would remember if Denmark did not agree to a deal on Greenland, what did you mean? What are the consequences?
You'll have to figure that out for yourself. You're a smart guy.
Mr. President, do you see a price for Greenland that's reasonable?
I could see that, yeah. I could see that.
How would you calculate?
I could see that, but there's a bigger price, and that's the price of safety and security and national security and international security, having to do with many of your countries.
Mm-hmm.
That's really the price, and that's the big price. And as you know, we're doing the Golden Dome. It's going to be very expensive, and it's better if we have Greenland than it is without. It's going to be safer. It's going to be stronger. It's going to be better for Europe, and it's going to be better for us. And so we'll see what happens. Any other question?
Is it reassuring to hear the NATO Secretary General say NATO will defend the United States if it comes under attack?
Well, I hope that that's true. I mean, he's a good man. He's never lied to me before. You know, we've had a good relationship, and he made that statement. That's nice. I mean, I just, you know, when I see what's happening with Greenland, I wonder, because I want Greenland for security. I don't want it for anything else. We have so much rare earth. We don't know what to do with it. We don't need it for anything else. And in terms of Greenland, you know, you have to go 25 feet down through ice to get it. It's not something that a lot of people are going to do or want to do. No, this is security we're talking about. And I can say one thing about Mark. He wants security, and he wants security for all of us. I think it's, you know, we're a member of NATO. He wants security for NATO and beyond. So when he says that, Steve, I think it's, you know, it's very nice. Okay? Thank you very much, everybody.
Thank you, press. Thank you, press.
Thank you.
Thank you, press. Thank you, press. Let's go. Let's go. Start moving. Thank you, press.
Thank you.
Thank you, press. Let's go.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Thank you.
This was not the first opportunity today.
Thank you, press. Thank you, press. Keep going.
Not bad, that's the worst.
Thank you, press.
You had a few.
On the